Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Kevin Campbell claims 25-year-old Arsenal player just doesn't get the credit he deserves. Kevin Campbell has suggested that Arsenal defender Gabriel Magalhaes just doesn't get the credit he deserves. Campbell has been speaking on Highbury Squad and discussed Arsenal's best players of the season so far. The pundit named Declan Rice as his player of the season for Arsenal, but feels the 24-year-old is closely followed by Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, and Campbell believes that while Saliba often grabs all the headlines, Gabriel is an integral part of Arsenal's backline. Campbell was asked for his player of the season so far at Arsenal, and while he agreed that Rice has been the standout performer, he lauded Gabriel for his impact since coming back into the side. He said, I would say Declan Rice, but he is followed up very closely behind by Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. Gabriel didn't start for a couple of games, but he has been a colossus back there. Listen, I know Saliba gets the headlines, but with Gabriel, we have seen our team with Ben White and Saliba, and we still looked good. But against the best teams, Gabriel has to play. We needed Gabriel to come on in some of those early games, didn't we? Just to get us over the line a little bit. I just think Gabriel is that aggressive center half, the fighter. Saliba is the clean-up man. He will just clean up everything. He is big and physical, but he is the reader. Gabriel is our guy. He is the one who triggers everything, and we really need him. Gabriel was left out of the Arsenal side for the first couple of games this season amid interest from Saudi Arabia, but the 25-year-old has started in every single Premier League game since Arsenal have looked better for it. His partnership with Saliba has been key to the Gunners' success over the past year, and the Brazil international has started once again this season. Kevin Campbell delighted by Romano's news on £50 million Arsenal star this week. Kevin Campbell has suggested that it's fantastic news for Arsenal that Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Ben White hopes to sign a new contract soon. Campbell was speaking on Highbury Squad after Romano reported on X on Monday that the Gunners are more than confident of reaching an agreement with the 26-year-old. Ben White has proved to be an inspired signing for Mikel Arteta's man. There was real concern amongst the Arsenal fans when the club spent big money to bring him in from Brighton. In fact, he proved to be one of the first of many players to leave the Seagulls for big money, and he has definitely gone on to prove to be worth the £50 million outlay as he closes in on a century of appearances for Arsenal. White has shown at both centre-back and right-back. He has formed an outstanding partnership with Bukayo Saka down Arsenal's right flank. Fabrizio Romano reported that Arsenal have almost agreed an extension with the England international, and Kevin Campbell believes that is a fantastic news for the Gunners. He said, happy, happy, happy. Tie down all your good quality young players, tie them down for long contracts, and these guys are only going to get better together. Ben White, do you remember many people questioned him at right back? Really questioned him at right back? But he has gone on from strength to strength, and he has made that right back spot his own. I think because of his versatility, it will be great to see Jurriën Timber come back, and at times we could mix and match, tie him down. Arsenal are continuing to move forward. Supporters could have only dreamed of their side challenging for a title again when Arteta was coming under a huge pressure in his first couple of years in charge, but they are now a heavyweight on the pitch again, and they are acting like one of it also. Not only are they making such smart signings, but they are also ensuring that there is little speculation surrounding their key man. Darren Bent says he'd rather go with £60 million midfielder Emil Smith-Rowe instead of Kai Havertz right now. It's safe to say that Kai Havertz has hardly let the place up since signing for Arsenal in the summer from London rivals Chelsea. The German midfielder attacker cost Arsenal more than £60 million but has far struggled. He has got just the one goal, a penalty at Bournemouth, and once again looks like he is struggling for a position. And speaking on TalkSport Drive, former Premier League striker Darren Bent said that right now he'd rather see Emil Smith-Rowe playing for Arsenal instead. Speaking on TalkSport's Drive show alongside Andy Goldstein, Bent admitted that Smith-Rowe should be getting more minutes than Havertz right now. He said, "You should hear the ovation whenever he comes on at the Emirates. They love him. I will be honest, I'd rather see him play right now in that number 10 role anyway than Kai Havertz." In fairness to Bent here, he makes a very valid point about Havertz and Emil Smith-Rowe. The question came up when they were discussing the idea of Newcastle being keen on the Arsenal midfielder, and the self-confessed gunner is bang on when it comes to Havertz. The impact that Smith-Rowe has on games seems to be far more than that which Havertz brings on most occasions. Just like at Chelsea, the German seems to be drifting along through games and struggling to make any sort of impact with his new club. Certainly, if the Gunners were to sell Smith-Rowe and persist with Havertz, then it would raise considerable questions among the Arsenal fan base, even if they do get the reported £60 million they want. As of now, Havertz has a lot to prove to show he is going to be worth the money. Keir Starmer says Arsenal have made a truly fantastic signing this summer. Declan Rice has been earning all sorts of praise since joining Arsenal in the summer. The midfielder has been hailed by many fans and pundits alike after his bright start to life in North London, and he has also caught the eye of one of the most influential politicians in the UK. Indeed, speaking to AFTV, Keir Starmer has been full of praise for Declan Rice, claiming that he has been an excellent signing and that he was actually very impressed by the midfielder when he met him at West Ham Stadium last season. The Labour leader spoke highly of the Arsenal attacker. "I am a midfield player, very aggressive and barking out the order. Is that Odegaard? More Declan Rice. It feels odd to compare myself with Declan Rice. I have to say, he is a fantastic boy. What a player. I saw him last year at West Ham, and I was with Mark Noble, and we met him afterwards. A fantastic guy. I had my program, and I asked him to sign it for my son, and I obviously had a contract underneath. And before he knew it, he'd signed for Arsenal. That's how it was really done." Starmer joked here. It's hard to describe Rice as a fantastic signing after just 8 games when he cost £105 million, but it has to be said that he is delivering so far. Of course, he still has a long way to go if he is going to fully justify that price tag in the coming years, but the early signs are very encouraging, to say the least. Rice has been utterly brilliant since arriving at the Emirates, and if he can keep this up, he will be well on his way to becoming an Arsenal legend. £27 million Arsenal player has now admitted he'd like to play in La Liga one day. Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya has now admitted that he would like to play in his native Spain at some stage of his career. Raya was speaking in feature interview with The Athletic and stated that he will see what happens in the next few years. The 28-year-old did insist that all of his attention was currently on succeeding with Arsenal, but it may be in the back of his mind. Raya said, "Right now, I don't have it in mind. Would I like to play in La Liga? Yes, of course, but at the moment, I am at Arsenal. I am very happy, and we'll see what happens in the next few years." Of course, this won't be too much of a concern to Arsenal fans right now, who will probably understand Raya's position. Despite being born in Barcelona, Raya has played his entire career in England since rising through the Blackburn Rovers Academy, and Spain international Raya did also admit in the interview that he has realistic aspirations of winning the title with Arsenal this season. Although Raya has somewhat overcome Aaron Ramsdale at Arsenal, he's having more trouble displacing Unai Simon for Spain. The duo are joined by Real Madrid's keeper in Spain's goalkeeper group for these October internationals, and with the 26-year-old Simon already having 36 caps for his country, Raya may have to stay patient. Of course, there is only so long that Luis de la Fuente can ignore £27 million Raya's performances at Arsenal if he keeps a starting role. Perhaps Arsenal's Raya may consider that he'd have a better chance at becoming number one were he playing in Spain. Nonetheless, the goalkeeper is clearly very focused on achieving a lot with the club and country this season, and given he was willing to come to North London, he must have been confident of quickly winning a start. Journalist offers update on out of this world Arsenal youngster. Arsenal have a number of young players who are looking promising, and Charlie Patino is one of the names who has been around a while now. Still just 19, Patino has been on the fringes of things with Arsenal for a while now. He is excelling in a loan spell with Swansea at the moment and has been called to the England under 21 squad. However, speaking on Inside Arsenal, journalist Charles Watts has claimed that as of now, Patino's future remains uncertain. Speaking on Inside Arsenal, Watts updated everyone on Patino, and while he admits Arsenal do like the midfielder, there is also an element of the Gunners not wanting to deny a young player either. He said, I have said this before, all the options are available to Charlie. Arsenal do like Charlie Patino. It's just about they are not going to hold a player back if they think he is not going to get into the first team. For Patino and his people, it's like, why would he sign a new long-term contract with Arsenal now, which is going to have to happen if there is not really a pathway? So everyone's going to see how this season pans out, then come back and sit down again, and it could be a very different scenario. He's made himself get into the England under 21s, and I really hope he does well. It does seem like Patino is finding his feet in the first team football with his move to Swansea. The championship is a good level to play, and he is doing well with the Welsh club. It remains to be seen if Patino, who has been dubbed an out of this world talent, can make that step up to the Arsenal side though. The jump in quality is massive, and it will certainly be interesting to see how the club manage this. Arsenal have shown they will let players go, like Fowler and Balogun for example, and if they feel Patino won't play, then he might well be sold on. However, this pans out, it's likely to benefit Patino somehow. He will either be in the mix for an Arsenal first team spot, or he will find a new club where he is a main player and can kick on from there. Kevin Campbell believes Arsenal could sign £60 million star in January to partner Jesus. Kevin Campbell has suggested that he would love for the rumors concerning Arsenal eyeing Ivan Toney to be true, and even thinks that he can play in a front two with Gabriel Jesus. Campbell was speaking on Highbury Squad after being asked about the links, which suggest that the Gunners are considering a move for the Brentford star in January. Ivan Toney has not kicked a ball this season, yet his name have rarely been out of the transfer gossip pages, and the Gunners are one of the teams eyeing the 27-year-old. Reports from the Daily Mirror claimed that Toney is Arsenal's number one target for January. Brentford, however, want at least £60 million for the striker. Arsenal have the likes of Gabriel Jesus and Edin Ketia, and the Mirror's report noted that the Gunners may have to move players on to find a move for the England international. So, some may be wondering if Toney would be worth the risk given how long it has been since he has last played. However, Kevin Campbell believes that Arsenal should indeed make a move and suggested that his arrival could lead to a change in how Mikel Arteta uses Gabriel Jesus. He said, I think the rumors should be true. If we are honest and we look at our squad, maybe at the top end of the pitch is where we could do with that alternative, as many people have said over the years. We know Kai Havertz can play up there, but somebody of Ivan Toney's stature, power, and he's got something to prove as well. That's the other thing which I like. He will have something to prove. He knows Arsenal. He likes Arsenal. He has great banter with the Arsenal fans, doesn't he? Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Mikel Arteta threw a wrinkle into our game where even Tony and Jesus play together as a front two. It will be interesting to see how Tony fares upon his return to the game. He has obviously spent several months on the sidelines due to suspension, and there are no guarantees that he will be able to rediscover his best form once he is back quickly. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.